he flew you to his hometown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how did he treat you?
He actually treated me quite well. Typical, Southern hospitality. Had my own room, separate, bathroom that was inside the room. He was very hospitable. Of course, I didn't have to pay for anything. Nothing weird at first. It was perfect,
It was
honestly.
smooth. You didn't see it, but most narcissists start off like that. They start off very, very cordial, and then this bit by bit they go to revealing their real identity. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic. So when you got there, I noticed you said it was an apartment and it wasn't a home that you thought you were going to.
Yeah.
He stated that it was a condo, and you said it wasn't a condo. It was just like a regular apartment. So like I was telling Lit Baby when I went online, somebody must be really doesn't agree with him because there's some open public information that the community that he lives in is actually low income, HUD, that type of environment. So with that being said, what was the setting? What did it give you low income or did it give you upscale middle class?
It gave me exactly what it is. It's a college aim type of apartment. It's right down the street from LSU. It is in the hood. All of the residents and people that reside there are college kids, roommate type style. There's nothing luxurious
No.
about it. And that's not a read or nothing, but it's a basic apartment. The
Okay,
apartment
so it's low. It's actually low income because
yeah.
they said Bell, Louisiana, is the area that he lives in is low income. Okay, so we understand that. Okay, so what made you talk about the storyline? What made you open up about? So what got you to the point where you were no longer seeing eye to eye with him, and you had to discuss that it was a storyline, and you guys weren't a unit for real?
You never know a person until you stay with them. Us doing it from different cities was different. Me being in his household, actually seeing how he operates, that's when I started to be like, I don't even like you as a person. Example, the only reason he has any type of platform is because he's built it off the backs of tearing down black women. So what he does is he literally stalks like who he can come at, you know what I'm saying, just to get them to respond. Just so he can get on the internet and get your social security number, your bank information, your credit score, like all that fuck shit. And my platform, I know Bigo does have a lot of craziness on there, but primarily my platform is really positive. We talk about God, we talk about spiritual stuff, we talk about mental health, depression, things of that sort. So everything to me that he stood for kind of went against who I am as a person. And to me, that little 300K quota, 400K quota that he was giving me to be in the storyline, it just wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
It
So
was
back to the living arrangements again, and not to cut you off.
good.
I'm glad you wasn't willing to go along with that because your morals, your value, all that is important. It's more than just that storyline. But how do you think he got in a facility that is occupied by young adults?
It's not in his name.
He's an older man. He's not
It's not.
living actually in the facility with the young folks. Is he living in the actual apartment with these young adults that's going to college?
I mean, it's a building like a high rise. So you got like 10, 12 units on each floor. So for
But the
instance, if
majority of the people that's occupied dwelling in this place are underage
yeah,
college
college,
kids.
yeah,
So I'm trying to figure out why would an overgrown adult be in the midst of youthful people like this?
mm-hmm.
How did he get in? Did he portray that he was in college? Does he go to school? Is he taking up courses?
Nah.
It's not adding up. It doesn't make sense to me why you would be in a facility that is for college kids. You know what I'm saying? You're an
Yeah.
overgrown adult. You talk about your status all the time, that you're well off, you're doing well. Why are you somewhere that evidently is being reasonable for kids because they have to pay for intuition, they have to pay for books. So I know they're not hitting them across the head.
Yeah.
So you're in this place so you can pay less too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting
I
from
get
this.
what yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Has he ever dealt with anybody in the apartment? Have you ever met anybody
Every
that he is cordial with in this apartment that he speaks to that is in college?
Nah, I've never seen him speak to anybody. I never saw nobody speak to him. He's really under the radar there, really under the radar. So I don't, you know, and every time like he would do his whatever, he always left the apartment and left me there. So I don't know what he did like when he left outside of the apartment building. I ain't asked no questions or anything like that.
Mm. But I know you was watching your surroundings and being real inquisitive about.
Yeah. Well, I'm an Aquarius, and I'm very quiet, but I pay very close attention to detail, and I'm very observant. I may not say nothing or act dumb, but I catch on to everything. Um, I didn't want to shake the waters. I mean, you have to think, I'm in Baton Rouge. I'm from Memphis. I don't want him to get mad at me and put me out or do something stupid. So I'm trying to keep the peace, but I'm peeping game all around. Like for instance, Shakie got a lot of cell phones, a lot of them, a whole lot, because he got a lot of different social media accounts. He
Not
keeps them.
only social media accounts, a lot of people information that he need to utilize some phones for too. So
Well,
that's a
it's funny
part
you
of it
say that.
too.
It's funny you say that because a lot of times he would tell me to go to his purse and bring me this phone, and there would be so many cards in there, a lot of debit credit cards. So one time I was looking, he told me to get his card out, and they were scattered. So I had to pick up a card to look at the name. And them names look real familiar. I remember them names because I helped him ship out some of the Sip Cosmetics orders. Those are his Sip Nation member names on them cards. And actually, the first time he came to Memphis, we went to McDonald's one night, and I was driving his car, and I was holding a card in my hand, and the people that were watching was zooming in on it. They catch everything on Bigo. And
This is what I was asking Lit Baby, but Lit Baby said he hadn't encountered that. This was the information. This is exactly what I was asking him. Did he have a cosmetic line where people were purchasing from this line, trying to support him, and was he stealing from the customers? And he said he couldn't really say. And I'm glad you confirmed that because that was the initial question on the last slide. So it makes sense. Anybody that even is trying to help him, he's willing to take from them too.
But check this out. He tells you that on his website. If you go to Sip Cosmetics, the website right now under his privacy policy or whatever, there are 3 different clauses in them that all say when you log on to that site, whether you buy anything, whatever card you have connected to the device, you give him permission and access to your billing address, them credit card numbers, everything. You willingly give that information over without you buying a single thing. The site ain't nothing but a storefront. Products that really don't do anything is to get your information. He don't need the sales off of it. He just needs your info. So
Wow. Wow. So what happens is these people give the information, he keeps the information, and all he needs is the name because he runs people credit. He ran mine. He's never had my information. So for him to run my information, he knows how to get people social and stuff like that. And that's all he needs.
Yeah, it's all he needs. His equipment is state of the art. It ain't no low level computers or nothing. Like it's the best of the best of the best. I walked in the rooms plenty of times, and I've seen Bigo people. He's had all their information just up on the screen. I'm sitting here looking like he's, you know what I'm saying. And I can't. It's one thing to know it's another thing to see it. Most of them people he was doing this shit with black women. I can't be a part of that. Like, I'm like, that's just not
I
right.
also heard you say that too in an interview over there on YouTube, stating that he built his whole career off the back of successful black women that have done something for the community. You trying to tear them down. So when he came for Super Cent, someone that actually made it out of Louisiana, became a multimillionaire with this product. Do you felt like he was in competition with her when he decided to make a cosmetic line as well?
That's delusional, though. How are you even thinking that you're in competition with her? She's a multi-millionaire. Her products are in stores. You can Google her. You know who she is. That shit that you got, Shakie, is as profitable as you trying to sell a Slim Fast line. Nobody even looks at your skin as being desirable or anything marketable or anything that they would want to like. And that's not a read. That's the truth.
It's the truth.
Shakie didn't know I met Super Scent before when I was living in Atlanta. She came into a restaurant that I was managing, and she's a sweetheart. We gave her whole meal and stuff free. So you dragged a woman that I think is a very good person. I just never told him that, you know.
Yeah, but he ended up showing his identity when once you got there, you got to see him for who
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Did he ever threaten to expose you in any way, defame your character at any time?
Not before we fell out. I would have never thought that he would ever do that, ever. Honestly, never. Never crossed my mind. I don't know why I thought that. I thought we were
Do you
friends.
mind going into the details what he did to you?
One of them was he did an interview. My platform is Bigo, of course. I've been there for like 7 months, but I've been doing really well in a short amount of time. He did an interview with one of the biggest broadcasters on the app. And one of the first things that came out of Shakie's mouth was that I fucked Breion. I fucked Breion in his mouth, and I fucked Breion every single night. Shakie has never seen me with my shirt off. Like, there's been no form of intimacy or anything. I have 2 daughters. Like that, them YouTube videos never go away. That's gonna forever be on there. Why would you say that? You know.
So when you first initially connected with him, you told him you had boys instead of girls
Mm-hmm.
because you was trying to protect the identity of your daughters because you know how messy that app
Bigo
can
is
actually get. So
exactly.
when did he find out? Did he expose that there was girls to his platform instead of boys? He was trying to make you out to be a liar.
Yeah, but
Uh,
this how he knew everything. That he knew the truth the first day we met. I said, "This is I have 2 daughters. This is where I'm at. This is my financial situation. This is who I." He knew everything, but he tried to spin it as if I catfished him and I didn't let him know about any of that. You knew about everything. That's why I took the opportunity to do the storyline because I felt like it was a way out of the mud.
right.
You know,
Look,
but
we got so many delusion. We got so many delusional people that they will come to the aid of Rodney and defend him, and they see his characteristics. They see he's a liar. The proof is all online. They see that he was never raped, that he was never in that correctional facility, that he did this whole media televised video for saying this is where he lost his life. He lost his virginity. He lost his right. He was such a great actor, saying
mm-hmm.
he was violated here, just to find out you was never incarcerated there. You was
No,
incarcerated in a whole nother facility. You was
yeah,
never at Parish. So my
yeah.
thing is, how many lies you have to catch him in before you know he is fraudulent? And why would you, as a person, want to support somebody that's being exposed
Mm-hmm.
every day? Every day,
Mm-hmm.
and you seen him go into people's personal lives and try to destroy them for personal gain. Like, why would you? Why would you support? And this is my thing. Most people that support him may have the same type of train of thought. They might be the same type of individual because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a strong believer birds of a feather do flock together. If
Yeah,
you support and this man lied to get a verified check by saying he was raped, and you
mm,
got real people in the world that was
they're
actually
really right.
raped, I don't understand it.
And then if you look at it, prison stories, I've never been sexually, I don't have that type of background. My heart goes out to anybody that's ever dealt with any type of traumatic
Somebody
experience
said,
like
"Where's
that.
the receipt?" Wait a minute, I'm not to cut you off. Somebody said, "Where's the receipt?"
From who?
Google,
From because last
read,
night,
reading is your receipt.
yeah,
Do your research and read. That's your receipt. It's online.
yeah,
Common sense. What do
yeah.
you mean? Where's the receipt? It's all over the internet. You can Google. He was sued
He
for
was
it.
sued. He was sued, and they sued the New York Times for publishing. They called it fake news.
Like, are you an idiot? What's
And
wrong
then
with you?
if you look at him talking, look at prison stories when he's talking about his sexual, Man, Shakie is like a kid in a candy store. He's happy. This is not a read, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Being incarcerated and having them sexual things happen to him was probably the best moments of his life, because that was the only time where he didn't have to spend 40
His
or
best
60,000 paying for
imagination of
dick.
his life. His
Hmm.
best imagination of his life. Because it's still not known to be fact that it happened because he was never in that facility. Now, if it did occur, it was in the one he was incarcerated for 9 years, but not in Parish. You was never in Parish. So it didn't occur there. So that means you fantasize that. And we've known time and time again, if you do your research on narcissistic people, they make up lies. They build themselves up to be people that they're not. They like control. They tear people down because they really feel fucked up. These people really feel messed up about themselves. And in order to feel good about themselves, they have to tear you down to put them like above you. And
Yeah.
they don't like to be exposed because he's not going to like this live at all. They don't like to be exposed. They like to be looked at in a great light.
Mm-hmm.
They will try their hardest to cover a lie with another lie. It is diminishing their character, which
Yeah.
they've already done themselves. So my
Yeah.
thing is, when this was all over, did he harass you for a while on Bigo, or did he just kill it and just use his platform
If
to
you
discuss?
listen, I like receipts. If you go on YouTube right now, just type in Breion. I did an interview with a guy on the app. His name is Boom. The moment the interview started to the moment it ended, they created what they call fan lotteries, calling me a flop, saying I had HIV, saying I was a deadbeat dad. This was Shakie and his Sip Nation doing that the whole fucking interview. They tell me to slit my wrist, cut my throat from the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed. Today on my live, there are people in here that'll tell you back to back to back, they kept coming, kill yourself, you bitch, you a flop. All you talk about is Shakie. Like, we don't talk about Shakie. I'm trying to separate that part of my life, but y'all don't understand is that this nigga tried to tear down everything that I have built. You think I'm supposed to just sit back and just be like, okay, just do it, Shakie? Like,
That's
it's
crazy. That is insane. And you know what? My thing is, all you got to do is listen to a person talk. You don't have to have a major platform. You can have a small platform. But if
yeah,
you listen to a person talk, you know when they're authentically telling you the real and when they're perpetrating. I have yet to hear you stutter not one time since you talked to me and you elaborated on the situations that occurred and took place. You have not stuttered not one time. And when you listen to him talk, he's fast talking, and they love to say, "Oh, that's a Louisiana thing." No, this nigga be stumbling over every noun, every verb, every adjective, everything that comes out of his mouth because he's trying to talk as fast as he's thinking
yeah.
and trying to
The
think as fast as he's talking. And
accent
I
isn't even,
know that's what people do. They kind of stutter over the words that they say when they're lying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I do have to, I know you probably don't know this, the Bigo people do. Geisha, before I said anything, as
Oh,
they
I was
call it,
on that app for a while. I was on there for a while.
okay, so before I woke it up on him, I just want the people that don't know, I woke up my truth and my part in the whole thing before I said anything derogatory about him. I like these people know about my drug addiction. I quit Percocets cold turkey from being on the app. Like, I've had a lot of accomplishments since. Um,
Wow,
like, this was
congratulations.
never like, to tear Shakie down or nothing like that. But all I did was just tell y'all what happened, and that's it. Like,
Yeah, but people don't like you to tell the truth about people that they worship.
that's
It
crazy.
becomes very problematic when you go against somebody that do numbers because we're living in an era where people are infatuated with money, people with big following,
Yeah,
people that are influencers that prey on sympathy, that make up
yeah,
stories about how they went through something so they gain the remorse of these people. I
yeah,
went through something traumatic and this and that. So a lot of his followers is going to ride for him because they believe that he went through something, he had a struggle, they
mm-hmm,
read his story. So they don't know it's fictional. They
mm-hmm,
think it's facts, so they kind of they show remorse and they try to represent him in a way like I'm not gonna let nobody mess with him because he been
yeah,
through so much, and
yeah.
just to find out that so much never happened.
And last night I showed them a message where there was a broadcaster named Charlie. They were beefing, and Charlie played his prison stories. In the text message, Shakie texts me and says He's talking about my prison stories. Watch me go live and play victim. I'm finna demonize him. I'm finna make him feel so bad about talking. Like, that's what he does. He plays victim. He throws rocks. He holds his hand and say, oh my God, y'all treating me so bad. It
I
don't work.
noticed that. I
Shaky.
noticed that. I noticed that. I noticed that. And that's why I applied so much pressure the way I did. I applied the pressure because I can sense a narcissistic person when I witnessed them, because that wasn't his first approach on me. I was on that app, Bigo, last year. And he came to my panel. I had like 6 box open or something. And I had Mother Jaguar on the platform. We were talking. And he was saying, I want to come up on your platform, but I don't want to come up because she's up there, whatever. And Jag was like, well, you just going to have to wait because we talking right now. So Jag said, well, let me step down and let him come up and say what he had to say. So he was like, well, you're defending Tiny Them. You're under their payroll and this and that. And I was like, no, I'm not. If you know me and you've been following me, you know I do this. I roast motherfuckers because I follow whatever is the hot topic online at the time. When I go, how I roast people is I look up black celebrity gossip. Whoever pops up first and the storyline is interesting to me, I roast that situation. You get what I'm saying? So they were trending at the time, so I roast that situation. You know what I'm saying? I've already had a difference with Shekinah. When I first got on the app, she disrespected me. But this storyline had took place and I roasted her. So he came over trying to come in her defense. So he got on the platform and he was talking to me and he was like, they flew you out to Atlanta? And I was like, when? He said, just this weekend. I said, no. If you read that post, it says Philadelphia. I went to go see a man about a dog. That means I went to go see a man about personal business. Okay? So you reading into it too much because you see them liking posts or you see them commenting. You thought they flew me to Atlanta. They never flew me to Atlanta. I was in Philadelphia. I was somewhere else paying attention to somebody else. So make a long story short, then he was like, I started to come over here and cuss you out. And I was like, well, you could cuss me out. Just know you're going to get cussed the fuck back out. Like, it worked both ways.
Yeah.
So he didn't play with me on my platform. He was like, you know, all right, I'm finna go. And he left. But that's like he was testing. They walk up on you and they point. They walk up on you and they point. And if you allow them to poke you in the head, they be like, okay, now it's time to punch. So that's what he was doing. He was testing the waters. When he came to my platform, he got up there, he was trying to feel me. And when he felt me, it took some months to surpass. He felt safe. Now he gets on his computer and say, I don't like when people jump in people's business. But he already knew I had conflict with Shekinah way before the incident took place. So he tried to make his viewers think that I was just jumping on a bandwagon when I was already having issues with this woman. So he said, I hate when people get in people's business. And he said, well, let's pull up her name, Geisha Dean, 47 years old. And he went to go to digging in, you know, into details. That's because he been wanting to come for me. It wasn't because he felt some type of way because I just wrote Shekinah. He been months ago wanted to, but he built the courage now to try it. But why did he do that? Because when he built that courage, he didn't know I don't get off the gas. I am one of them motherfuckers that would start off as the victim and turn into the whole motherfucking troll on your ass. Because I don't be messing with nobody. But once he saw that I was actually savvy with my wordplay, he don't like being humiliated. You gotta go to Bigo every day and watch people on their platform playing me, roasting you. That did something to his soul. He don't like to be the butt of the jokes. He like when he says something, he likes when other people are the butt of the jokes. But now, you used to be the king over there on Bigo. You could get on your platform and talk about it, and people laughing with you in the comments. But now you gotta watch all these people upload and Geisha 305 on Bigo talking about how bad she drugged you. And it did something to his character. But you've been doing that to people for years.
For years. Over and over.
But now you quiet and you victim now. You quiet because you never had nobody apply that much pressure and go viral, not only on Bigo. I'm going viral on your ass on Instagram. I'm going viral on you on Facebook. I'm going viral on you on TikTok. I'm going viral on you on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you reported my video on Facebook.
Yep.
Because it was doing nothing. Listen, it was shaking up the whole Facebook. He had to report it.
I can't even go live on IG. They reported me over a month ago. I'm still not able to go live.
But
So,
he was trying to get into my account this morning. He was trying to get into my account this morning. I got the email saying, you know, I heard that you having problems with logging in. I know how the game goes. Because can't nobody tell me you didn't take Superbit account over here on Instagram. Superbit was already in 100,000, getting ready to go into 200,000.
mm-hmm.
And Rodney hadn't got to 100,000 yet. He was less than.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Superbit might have made a mistake and clicked that link. Because once you click that link, your stuff vanished.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept getting these texts in my phone, like 4, 5 links. I said, that's him. Because you went over there on Bigo and said, oh, Geisha reach out to me and want to do an interview. And when he heard that, he probably went frantic. Like, oh, I gotta shut this girl page down.
That's what I just said before I came over here. I said I forgot. I said I didn't think about that. I said he don't want that to happen. He probably finna do. I
He
couldn't
was
see
trying to
your
get me to
line.
click them links to get my page taken. He was trying to get me to click them links, but I'm too smart for that. You're not dealing with the average Joe. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with somebody that's very savvy with this internet. Like, I'm a beast when it comes to this internet, and he didn't know that. But when you lose your account, one thing about Instagram, they're not gonna send you 4 and 5 links to keep clicking. That's somebody trying to break into your account. They're gonna send you one time. They're gonna send you this notice, and they're gonna be like, if it wasn't you, ignore it. But if it is you, click the link. They're not gonna keep sending you that in your text.
I always told y'all, like, this internet shit, he does it. He's good. And I just think it's what you say. Peter met his match. Or actually, he met somebody that can surpass him. I have to tell you, though.
Absolutely. But, you know, I'm sorry for what you went through. I know Bigo is based on storylines. People get their numbers up, they get their viewers up. And that's the only reason why you went along with it, because you were trying to build growth. And he took advantage of that situation. When people don't do what he say, or he can't get them to do it he wants them to do, he resorts to trying to slander people. And I noticed that is his trademark. He loves to slander and take people down because he can't control them. And I'm glad you got yourself out of that situation. I'm glad you can utilize my platform to express yourself. If y'all not following him, he's going to tell you which platforms you can follow him on, so you can stay updated to his growth and his storyline and what he got going on. If you want to share, you know, your Bigo thing that they can follow you on, you can do that right now.
I appreciate it. You guys can follow me on this account, which is Breion of Bigo. That's predominantly where I would like you guys to stay at. Bigo, I already know. I'm thankful for everything that has happened, but I think I've solidified my platform enough to where I have a following versus followers, and they'll go with me wherever I go. That messy shit, that low level shit, it's not even worth it. There are too many platforms where you don't have to deal with that and you can really affect change. Bigo is not for me. So thank you for the opportunity. Like, I really, really
You're
appreciate
welcome. You're welcome. And I thank you because you didn't have to get up here, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
you.
All right.
Will.
Bye.
Okay.
He's very, very smart. See, you can't play with everybody's reputation. You can't play with everybody, because it's going to be always somebody out there that's going to shed light on you and put the spotlight on your behind.